two people that I feel are doing a good job at balancing this. They may or may not agree, but I see them. And so I just wanted us to get together, and it's going to be a very casual conversation. I'm going to ask them a few questions, and then you ladies can join in. If you have any questions for them specifically or any input of your own, feel free to do so. Um, I'm going to introduce them in case you don't know everything, what they're balancing. So our first, I'm going to call him a panelist. Our first panelist is a call center director at Mary Washington Hospital, largest hospital in the area. She is a mother of two, an underage daughter who has a very hectic dance schedule, a wife of 19 years Friday.
As of Friday, yes.
An entrepreneur husband. And most recently, she added the title of pastor to her plate at Zion Baptist Church here in Fredericksburg. Miss Mahogany Art.
Yay!
Thank you.
Associate pastor.
Associate pastor. Okay.
Yes. Just a small correction, but a big one.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you for doing this for us. And then my second panelist is the controller for Obsidian Solutions, which is a government contractor here in Fredericksburg. She's also a mother of two, one who's still underage, a wife of 25 years, and I'll even say business partner to an entrepreneur husband, Miss Tamika Hood.
Hi.
So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for the invite. I think.
No problem. You think. Let me pull up my questions. Hold on. So we are going to jump right in. Tamika, the first question is for you. So you had a recent weight loss of about 50 pounds. Congratulations.
Oh, yay.
Was there a defining moment where you realized you had to start prioritizing your health?
Yes. And let me turn my heater off.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
There was. So yearly checkups. And I noticed in the handy dandy, thanks to, I guess, Mary Wash, my chart, that my numbers were kind of climbing upward in all areas instead of downward. And I kind of had a kind of scared straight moment where I was pre-diabetic, borderline high blood pressure, was checking it pretty much daily at home. I was even taking like all these vitamins. T will tell you I was checking my blood pressure probably like 3-4 times a day. And just having a history of family members that have suffered from kidney failure, diabetes, heart disease. And I was at the point where I had to make a decision. And just, I started small. Like we did like a sugar fast as a group, as our friend group. And I saw how that changed. And then I cut out like sodas because I would drink like a soda pretty much almost every day. Stopped buying them, stopped drinking them. And then started working out more, invested in a Peloton. So I just gradually added things as I progressed. And then I started researching because there are a lot of things that play into that. And then as you see like 1 or 2 pounds start to drop off, you get a little greedy. So you're like, oh, let me try, keep going. And then it just accumulated. But I would say one thing that was critical in managing my weight and losing my weight is I started reading like on insulin resistance. And I started checking my blood sugar like after I would eat. So it would kind of keep me in line with what things did well for me and what things didn't. And probably in the beginning, 80% of what I was eating wasn't doing what it was supposed to do for me. So that was kind of the beginning journey. And then I just kept going. I progressed from there.
Okay. Awesome. That is
So,
really,
can I
really
ask a
good.
follow-up question?
Mhm.
Sure.
And so, about how long ago was that, Tamika, when you started noticing your
Um,
numbers going nuts?
I'm going to say 2020. Let's see, probably 20. I probably started noticing a downward spiral, probably COVID. And
Oh, okay.
then my numbers kept going up, kept going up. And I was, I won't say officially diagnosed pre-diabetic, but they were like, okay, you're, according to your numbers, you're pre-diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably 2023.
Okay.
When did we go to Napa? That was 2023, I think. The years are running together. um, but that's probably when I was like, okay, I have to make a change.
Okay. You've been going at it for a couple of years. Good.
Oh, it's a slow process. It's easy to put it on, but
Mm-hmm.
it's slow to come off.
So my follow-up to that
Well,
would
Oh,
be,
raising her hand.
oh, go ahead.
You're on mute, Irene.
Have you ever taken insulin?
I didn't. I never took insulin, but my grandmother was diabetic since I was probably 10, and she took insulin every day. And I saw her take insulin. I saw her go through dialysis, and all of that was like, okay, I'm on the path. So either you're going to turn now or you're going to end up where she is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, how would you say improving your health impacted your ability to manage your other responsibilities?
um, I think well, I had to make some changes in making my health a priority and not an option. So we would go on these stints of, we would have a trip coming up and we would get in the gym and work out because we want to lose weight for a trip, or you want to lose weight because summer's coming. And I started using my calendar more. Like I will block, like on my calendar, there's a daily reminder at 5:30, get up and move your body. So something as simple as that. And then it kind of made me put other things in perspective. Whereas I would work 12, 13-hour days, just sitting here, just constantly working. And I still have long days, but it made me take a step back and say, okay, you need to go work out, have dinner, spend some time with your family. Then if you want to sit back down, sit back down. And in the beginning, I would make myself sit back down just because I'm that overachiever and I got to get it done. But now, not so much. I don't sit back down.
Okay. Mahogany. Oprah says you can have it all, just not all at once. Was there an order of importance for you initially, or have you always consciously tried to balance career, family, community, and health?
Hmm. Um, no, I don't think that there was a all at once kind of a thing. I guess early on, I was very kind of career focused. It's like kind of um, where I just wanted to work and you know not so much the goal wasn't to climb up the ladder, but just to keep bettering myself, do what I do better, make my team better, just be better, better, better. Um, and then just as I think as people started seeing me become better, um, then there was invitations to be on a certain team, to join another board, to take on a pastorship at the church. And so, things just kind of start to go, oh, okay, well, I guess I can handle that. I guess I can add that in. I guess I can do that. But then there also comes a point where you say, like, and literally I have to say, like, for the next 6 months, I'm gonna say no. And and you have to like just kind of get to that point because, as enticing and as honorable as some of the invitations to be on stuff and do stuff and create and do all the wonderful things, you just gotta say no. literally can't handle it. Um, so no, so I think it's a progression, and then um, adding in my health, I would say for when I was preparing to turn 40. So 5 years ago is when I started thinking about it again. Like I need to get myself straight. I need to be, because 40 is that kind of a peak. I don't know, is 40 over the hill or is 50 over the hill? I'm not sure anymore.
I think
I'm
it's
gonna say
50.
50 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I started going to the doctor, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna get all my checkups. I'm gonna get all the things right, and there were no real scares or nothing that said, oh, you got to get back on the right track. But I just felt like I needed to do that. I wanted to kind of, to me, it felt like starting at a clean slate. Like, let me just make sure I'm good and then try to keep it up from here. Getting older, I always think about just the family dynamics. Um, T on our side, heart disease is a big thing.
Hmm.
On my dad's side, cancer is a big thing. And at one point, it was like, just drink the wine, drink the liquor, because you're gonna die from heart disease or cancer or both probably. But I've managed to turn that around and go, well, maybe I will die of one of those things, but maybe it won't be a long, slow death.
Mhm.
Yeah. Quality of life matters.
Quality of life,
Mhm.
yeah.
So this question will be for both of you. Whoever wants to chime in first
Trina
can.
has her hand up, T.
Oh, I can't see
She's
her.
had her
Trina's.
hand up.
I didn't see that either. Okay.
I don't even see
Oh.
Trina. Trina, you got a question?
Oh, wait. Maybe it's me. Oh, that's my hand. Sorry.
I'm like, Trina's face
Do
ain't
you
getting
have
up
a
there.
question,
Go
Tamika?
ahead.
Would you have a question?
I do
Okay.
not. Sorry.
How do you ask for help at home, or do you assume your partner should just realize that you need help and jump in?
Mm.
This is one I'm not good at it. I mean, 19 years in, I'm still not good at it. Um, because I just like to be able to. If I said I was going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'll
Mhm.
handle it. I'll take care of it. I'll make it work. I'll leave work early. I'll go drop her off. I'll come back, go back to work. All those things. Um, and so I like to plan. Um, and T, you were talking about her Chanel's dance schedule, and we live in Spotsylvania. Her studio, where she practices at 3 to 4 times a week, is in Stafford. So when I do go to work, it's come home, pick her up, go to Stafford, come back home, and go back and pick her up at 9:30 at night. Um, and so I finally did just say, you know what? Why don't you handle Wednesdays? To my husband, it's like, if you could just handle Wednesdays, I got everything else, because Wednesdays is the day I go into the office. And so it's some of that, but I like the routineness of having a schedule. So Wednesdays, I know I don't have to, um, worry about picking her up, or you know really anything else except work. But when those times come up where things just come up, uh, and recognizing he has a busy schedule too. Sometimes he's really busy, and he deals with certain health issues, and sometimes it's just not feasible for him to get up and move as fast as I would like him to. Um, but I've got community. Mom, she's had to drive people places. My son, who is 24 now, um, I get him to pop in. I also have a van rental business, and so a lot of times I'm like, Sachi, can you go wash the van, please? um, so it's not an easy thing for me to ask for help, but there are times where I feel like maybe people owe me. I'm like, okay, you can do this for me. Hey, Tara.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Janice.
Breezy.
So I struggle with that as well. But I will say if I mention, like today, I said I had laundry going, and he says, "Oh, I'll take care of it when I get home." So I don't ask all the time, but if I mention it, um, he'll he'll step in and do it. He doesn't have a problem doing it. But I think just me, sometimes it's like I'll just do it so I don't have to explain anything, or I got a little control issues sometimes that I just kind of take it and just do it. But I struggle with it too. I do. I'll probably ask, like, and with the kids, I try to, well, kid, I he's pretty independent, but I'll delegate chores and things to him too. But I struggle with that bad.
Okay, so
Yeah, I noticed
you
you.
both need books on learning to ask for help. Got it.
Yeah, I've
And we're
become
both
accustomed.
Aquariuses too, so that might be
That's
part of
Part
right.
it.
of the
That's
problem. It
right.
is.
Yeah, I try dropping the subtle hints sometime, like, oh, I'm just so busy. I have so much to do tomorrow, and I gotta wash the van, and I gotta get Chanel. And I wait for him or someone to say, well, do you want me to? I'm like, oh, would you? That'd be fantastic. Instead of going, where can you help? We know
Yeah.
what we need to do. Yeah. Instead of going, you think you could help me in some of these places or one of these places tomorrow? So yeah, something we're still growing, right, Tamika?
We are.
So as a follow-up to that, Tamika, if I ask your husband or kids if you do a good job at balancing it, or if they tended to get the short end of the stick, what would they say?
Probably if you ask them, because of who they are, they're going to say I do a great job at balancing it. Um, Cameron might say something different, but Kevin is going to say I'm great at it. And Jay is probably going to say the same. But I know that sometimes, I guess I will back up and say this. I don't think that there is a true synergy or balance between work life and things of that nature. At some point, something is going to fall short. Um, and today it was home, but yesterday it was work because I had things to do for home. So I don't I don't know if there is a true balance. It's more so, are you getting done what you need to get done? And if so, then you're good. If you're not, then no. But if you ask Jay on the spot, Jay's going to always tell you that I'm doing a great job at everything. He's never going to say she's slacking. Just not in his DNA.
No.
Well, that's good. Mahogany, how do you ensure you make time for meaningful connections with your spouse with all this?
Yeah, I don't think my husband would be as gracious as Jay. Um, and so I do. I mean, I think he probably gets the short end of the stick, and I think for both of us, you know, um, I came in the house a few minutes ago. It's like, where's my husband? Anybody seen Fats? He's around somewhere and probably going to run out and do different things, and he'll probably come in and see me on this call and be like, oh, you doing something else again. Um, but it's really, I mean, we try to do date nights. Um, so I have a little phrase I use, again, me being passive aggressive. Wonder where I get that from, Mom. Um, but I'll say, oh, I feel like we're just two ships passing in the night. And that's kind of the cue of, oh, yeah, okay, we need to do something. We need to get something going. So, and it's not very often. It could be once a month that we just kind of go, okay, let's just get together by ourselves and do something. Get out the house because the house has distractions, um, and do something. So we just have to be very meaningful about that. We love to plan vacations and trips and things like that as well. So that's really our time to really reconnect. We're not big on like movie nights and things like that, but a dinner in a hotel room just down the street goes a long way sometimes.
Okay. So you'll remind each other when, hey, he needs time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Um, have either of you ever dealt with guilt when one area of your life requires more attention than the other? And then how have you, if so, how have you dealt with it?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, I have probably I would, and I've said before, I have a little bit of mom guilt with my boys, because I did my education in a non-traditional setting. I didn't go to school right out of high school. I did it after I was married and had a family. And my oldest son, I feel like he not suffered, but his mom wasn't, I wasn't there for him like I can be for the younger one because I was doing schoolwork in my free time. So there's definitely a little bit of guilt there for that. Um, I know there are times too, not so much now with my husband because we're intentional about doing things together, celebrating the milestones or going somewhere, going on a date. But as I was climbing the ladder, there were times with him as well where I would have to come home and work, or I would have to stay late because back then it wasn't remote working, to get something done. So yeah, I do. I just bomb stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's usually what
Um,
they do.
You do what works for
um,
you.
yeah. No, Kevin, my oldest son, Kevin's 25. I think. Yeah, he's 25. Yeah, he's 25. So Kevin and I have actually had the conversation. Especially now with him being older and trying to take college classes, work a full-time job, and have an actual life. He gets it. He's like, Mom, I don't know how you did this when we were younger, but we've had the conversation. I don't think Cameron so much sees the struggle just yet, which
Mhm.
he's a teenager and you know how they go.
Yeah, I think for me, um, I mean, I've only recently become associate pastor, but um, I think of probably in the last 5, 6 years, my role at church hasn't changed. So I've been just as busy these past couple of years at church, with church. And that's a lot of um, evening phone calls. It's a lot of weekends, all day Sundays, things like that. And because my husband and I don't go to church together, um, it it can sometimes be a point of contention. He has no clue what's going on there. It's like why can't we do this? Why? Because I gotta go to church. I gotta think for church. I gotta think for church. And I sometimes will just rather say like I got something going on. I can't make it instead of calling it church stuff, because I think it strikes a chord. Um, so that's been a little bit tough. Um, and I haven't figured out what the solution is yet. We're still kind of, well, at least I'm still working through it. Um, but definitely, already being busy with work, which I think he understands a little bit better. Um, you know, and sometimes he'll ask me in the bed on my computer. He's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, just a little bit of work." He says, "For work or for church?" And like, if it's church, I just kind of close the computer and you know do what I can. But it's just tough. I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. But that's just one of the areas we kind of struggle in.
Yeah.
So
It's real
he's
though.
he's figured it out that you'll just say work instead of church because that's a could be a point of contention.
Hmm. But when he wants to know, he'll ask. He'll make me define. Like, is it church work or work work?
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question for you, Mahogany. What or who keeps you accountable to your yourself, putting yourself first in your health?
Um, Honestly, I think it's just me. Um, I want to do it for me. I definitely love the accountability of the groups, T. So I wouldn't say I do it for you, but your challenges, your um, just not incentives, but uh, inspirations are absolutely helpful. And it's kind of like if somebody can do it, if T can do it, I can do it. Although T's like guru level now. But yeah, and so yeah, other than that, my dog, they tell me my dog is fat and she needs to lose weight and she's pre-diabetic and all these things. So I'm like, okay, well, I gotta walk the dog anyway, so let's just take a longer walk. So yeah, so for me and the dog, really, it's just I want to look good, I want to feel good, I want to stick around.
Okay. Tamika, same question. What or who holds you accountable?
Um, I have little tactics that I do every day, and then so I know you're not supposed to, but I weigh myself every morning, and if it's probably a little obsessive at this point, but if it goes up a couple pounds, I'm like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? But I have my reminder on my phone that goes off. It goes off at 12 and then it goes off again at 5:30. If I know I have a busy evening like today, I'll get up and do something in the middle of the day. I'll just block my calendar for work and get up and get on the bike or do some weights or something. Um, and then the group for sure to see, I don't always post, but to see the group doing things. I think Vontae is like an avid poster. She works out every day. And then T's to see T's stuff. I kind of like, okay, let me get up.
Right.
And sometimes I'll call her and I'll be like, tell me get my fat butt up and get on the bike. And she'll be like, get up, get on the bike. But it it definitely helps. But yeah, set
It
the
really
reminder.
is um, inspirational. And I remember when we first started doing the walk challenges last summer, I think.
Mhm.
And I'm one of those. It takes me a little bit to get out of bed, so I can wake up at 7 a.m., but I'm gonna lay there till 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and I'm
Yeah.
scrolling, and like I would see like Nicole or Samantha or Tamika post like, oh, I already did my, mile and a half walk, and I'm like, and I jump up and I put my shoes on. I'm like, okay, I got to get up. So it really was motivational for me.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Okay. I have one last, and it's not a question, it's a request from both of you. So if you could record a little message that women could take home and sit on, let's say their dresser or nightstand. So let's pretend we're a Build-A-Bear and you need to record a little short message that's going to be put in this stuffed animal. They're going to take it home and it's going to be a reminder to them when they're maybe feeling defeated or feeling like there's not enough time in the day. There's no way I can do my mom stuff, go to work, be there for my husband, and then still have time to take care of my health. What would you say to them? Um, Samika, let's start with
Great. Um, what would I say to them? Um, I mean, a lot of little, I have like these little post-its in my bedroom and when I'm feeling that way, I just read them. And some of it's corny stuff, but to me it works. I have one that says you are enough. Um, and then another one that will say you first. I think that was a piece of advice that my grandmother gave me when I probably first got married. She said to always take a little bit of something for yourself. Um, the more you offer, the more that they will take, and not just family, but that's just life, I think. Um, uh, keep going is one that I just recently added because I get in the slumps where I don't want to exercise or I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. So a couple weeks ago, I just wrote on a post-it that said, "Keep going. You've come so far. Just keep going." Um, so that probably would be it. I can't think of anything.
Okay. Um, I would maybe this is probably the bullet point version, but you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body is a temple. You have to take care of it. Um, it is attacks from the enemy to try to destroy you from the inside. Um, and yeah, take time for yourself. Using Tamika's theory, put it on the calendar. And that's ironic. I'm saying that because I am one that I go through my calendar at work or for church and go, ooh, not too many meetings this day. I'm gonna take off. Um, and it makes me feel better immediately. So there's instant gratification there, but then I know I got these days off coming. And it could just be a day here or there.
Yeah.
But I said it's ironic that I say that because actually just yesterday, um, I was talking to my sister. I said, I even forgot it's spring break this week. Like the kids are off. It's spring break. And she was like, yeah, you want to take no time off? I was like, no, I didn't. She was like, go on your calendar right now and take, a day off. And
Mhm.
so I am taking off Thursday and Friday. But yeah, we're perfect, however we are, but we should want to strive to be our best self, um, spiritually,
That's
mentally,
wait.
and physically.
CAN spells con.
Get out of my way.
We've got an imposter.
I was trying to, did it go away?
It
Yeah.
muted them.
Well, he's still there, but his video is off.
I was trying to see if I could kick him out. Okay.
There you go. Cyber world. It's crazy
Yeah,
these
and it
days.
was an open link, so got halfway, more than halfway through.